to convey our sympathies to the families which have been affected, who have lost their loved ones. It's a huge tragedy because we have lost 38 people who have been confirmed dead so far. We still have 10 people who are missing.
How many people missing?
10 people are still
10.
missing.
And the total is 38?
Yes.
Okay.
And also we have 24 people who have been discharged from hospital. 10 are still in hospital at the moment. As a government led by William Ruto, we continue to send our sympathies, our condolences to those who have lost their loved ones. It's a huge disaster which occurred in Elgeyo Marakwet, and it's a natural disaster. And some of these areas are prone to natural disasters, especially the Marakwet escarpment. It is a situation at the moment. Of course, we have other areas where are affected by floods. We are in Trans Nzoia, in Kwanza, in Kiminini. We have in Tana River. We are flooding the backflow of Lake Victoria and also the backflow of Lake Naivasha and most of the lake within the Rift Valley. We are witnessing the rising of the lake. And there's a study which is being conducted to understand properly what is happening as far as the Rift Valley lakes are concerned.
We'll get into the lakes in just a bit, but let's go back to Chesongoch. You're saying that there are 10 people missing. We had reported 11.
Yes.
So which is which? Is it 10 or 11?
No, it's 10. We have, sorry, not 10, 11.
So it's 11 people are missing.
11.
And the death toll is
yes, 11 people are missing. We have a huge number of KDF officers who are there, a platoon of KDF, and a platoon is made up of 36 soldiers. We have also 20 police personnel who are in the area, who have come there. We hand Kenya National Youth Service, which played a very great role in search mission and trying to organize the area. National Youth Service provided tippers and excavators and 100 personnel to help the KDF as well as Kenya Police. We also we hand special forces stationed in the area. We had one KDF helicopter stationed also in the area, as well as one National Police helicopter, which helped in getting those who have been affected to hospital and retrieving of the bodies and taking the bodies to the mortuaries.
So death toll is 38, to be clear, and missing 11.
Yes. So death toll is 38.
Is this rescue and recovery mission officially over, or is it still continuing?
No, it's not over. It's not over. We still have presence of KDF, presence of special forces, presence of Kenya police officers, as well as other agencies which are helping, non-state actors like Red Cross. County government of Elgeyo Marakwet is in place. Are doing a very fantastic job, a very good job to help the community. So the rescue mission is not over. We, as a government, will not come out of that place until we are found and we are accounted for all the missing persons, because the families must have a closure, and this is something we are taking very, very seriously under the instruction of His Excellency the President.
Waziri, you mentioned that there's areas that are prone to natural disasters, which is true because the Kenya Meteorological Department had actually predicted that this would happen, that there are heavy rains, there are mudslides that are coming. How come you're still caught flat-footed?
Trevor, we are not caught flat-foot. I had a meeting with county commissioners and regional commissioners at Kenya School of Government about 4 weeks ago. Regional commissioners, county commissioners, Meteorological Department, NDMA, National Disaster National Drought Management Authority at Kenya School of Government, where we had a consultative meeting discussing on issues of disaster. Yeah. And we are looking at the rains which were about to happen, which are happening at the moment, and also looking at the areas where there will be short of rain, especially in ASAL, arid and semi-arid counties in Kenya. And we had a very good presentation from Meteorological Department, as well as a very good presentation from National Drought Management Authority at the Kenya School of Government. So we can't say the government was caught flat-footed. However, estimation or prediction of natural disasters with precision is something which can't be achieved. However, it was clear from Meteorological Department in the areas where we are going to experience high rainfalls and areas where we are going to experience low rainfalls. And even the prediction of this week from Meteorological Department is showing that the areas which are going to have low rainfall, as it was predicted then in our meeting with at Kenya School of Government, is still going to continue, and we are likely to have mild drought in semi-arid and arid counties. That is Mandera, Wajir, Turkana, Kitui, Taita Taveta, Tana River, Marsabit, Samburu. Okay. This number of counties.
Those are mild drought areas.
Yes,
but I'm still interested.
But now,
4 weeks ago, weeks ago, you knew that there was going to be heavy rainfall and possible mudslides.
Yes.
What did you do at that point?
We went after the meeting with this team at the Kenya School of Government, National Disaster Coordination Center, which is under my ministry, passed the message to the areas where likely to have landslide and heavy rainfall, flooding.
Was Chesongoch one of the places where they passed information to
the entire of Ergeo Marakwet escarpment? Yes. The entire of Marakwet escarpment, the entire of western, or what we may call Western Rift Valley. Western Rift Valley is West Pokot, Baringo, Marakwet escarpment. All those areas are prone to landslide. The other areas which are also prone to landslide is in Murang'a, according to the Meteorological Department, and also other areas, some high areas within the central Kenya.
So where was the failure that we ended up losing 38 lives? If the warning was there, you knew this 4 weeks ago, you passed the information to them, where did the government fail?
We need to understand the history of that area, my brother Trevor. The reasons why people live in high places is because of the insecurities, the historical insecurities of the Keio Valley or Ergeo Marakwet Valley. The historical insecurity areas that people don't live in lowland in the valley. The high land or the escarpment, the entire of the escarpment is perceived to be more secure to live there than to live in the lowland. And from the time for the last 6 months, there is no insecurity issues which have been reported in that area. No death out of insecurity situation, that is cattle rustling and banditry. So we need to understand that is the genesis or historical issues which made people to go to high land. But Trevor, there's something which also we have to agree that we need serious landscape restoration as a matter of urgency in the country. Landscape restoration in terms of climate change. Some of these are serious effects of climate change. We have cut trees in some of these areas, especially if you've right over the escarpment, the Marakwet escarpment. You'll see farming at high land at the top of the mountains. This farming at the top of the mountain should be discouraged. And one of the ways which government is putting effort is to ensure that there is a restoration of peace. There is no cattle rustling, there are no people fighting with guns in the entire of that valley,
yes.
so that people can move from highland and go down and they are able to do the agricultural activities and earn a living. And then we can be able to restore the landscape in the mountain areas.
So let me ask
These are the activities which
why
have to be
weren't
taken.
you able to move people from the areas that were affected, having known this 4 weeks to time?
There is no prediction that the landslide will happen at this specific place.
But you knew the areas that were high risk areas.
Yeah, there is areas of high risk. For instance,
so why didn't you?
For instance, at the moment, Trevor, we have information of Moranga is a high risk area.
So which information are you giving the people of Moranga? What are you telling them?
For instance, in Kangema,
Yes.
Kangema constituency, it's a very high risk area, prone to landslide.
So having known that,
Now,
what are you telling the people of Kangema?
Having known that, Trevor, there are some areas which government has declared that even moved people from in Kangema to go and stay in a certain SCTNEWS church in Kangema constituency. And food and non-food items provided for by government to that location. But also you have to understand the ancestral connection of the land with the people. People have some serious customary connection with the land, or where because this is ancestral land. But having said that, Trevor, it is true we need to put more effort. We need to put to ensure any rive roast is one rive roast is so dear to government, and that's why the government, led by President William Ruto, we continue to send our condolences, our sympathies with those who have been affected, and we are going to ensure the restoration of the livelihood of the people and the households which have been affected are going to be restored.
What we're still concerned, where will you restore these households? So you know that these areas are prone to landslides.
Yes.
What, first of all, do you tell the people? Are you asking them to move to different ground? And which ground is that?
Yes, at the moment we are asking people to move to safer grounds.
And they haven't moved.
And we're not saying...
So where are they moving?
Before you used to say move to high ground. No. To safer grounds.
Which is that safer ground? Have you given them an alternative?
To safer ground. And
which is safer ground?
In that, for instance, in Erigao Market, where this happened.
So have you given them
they are safer grounds. We have KDF there, as I've mentioned, which is directing people on where to be in the safe grounds. We have Red Cross, we have, it's a multi-agency operation.
So these safe grounds
led by National Disaster Coordination Unit, which is directly under my ministry.
So are you giving them land now that belongs to the government?
We have not yet given them land.
Okay, so these are temporary.
This is temporal. First of all, we want to ensure we have dealt with this disaster in a humane way. We are offering psychosocial support, a lot of counseling to the family which have been affected. There are some family, Trevor, which have lost 9 members of the family. That's not a simple thing. That's not a very easy thing. It's a very difficult thing. So we are focusing at the moment, giving all the necessary support, both material and socio-psychological support to the families which have been affected. And then we'll go to phase 2 of resettlement of these families. The burial of those who died in this very unfortunate disaster, we are planning with 21st of this month. We hope that we'll have been able to account for all the people who are missing.
So where is this resettlement going to take place?
This conversation which we are having even with the county government of Erigao Market and all other stakeholders and leaders and even the professionals from Erigao Market County. we are having a consultative discussions because, Trevor, you know, even the cultural issues, the public participation of some of these decisions are extremely important.
Okay.
So immediately after we give a befitting send-off to all those who died in this unfortunate disaster, we will go immediately, re-embark immediately into resettlement. And these are instructions given by His Excellency the President William Ruto.
So let's talk about
and
this.
We are taking this instruction very seriously.
Okay, let's talk about the resettlement for a bit. First of all, how many households have been affected?
We have about close to 200 families who have been affected, households which have been affected.
So it's close to 200?
Yeah, close to 200.
How much land will you need to resettle them? Do you know?
Trevor, I don't want to say the amount of land which will, the size of land which will be required at the moment.
Okay.
As I have said, it requires very consultative discussion with the county government of Elgeyo Marakwet, with the leaders from that county, the national government leaders, my ministry leading this recovery mission, resettlement mission, restoration of livelihood activities. So we are going to ensure we have the enough land. You know what happened?
But
at the moment, Trevor, where we used to have farmland, at the moment is a river which is flowing with all rocks, huge rocks, and it used to be a farmland. There were no rocks there, there was no river there, it's a brand new river. So we have to resettle these people as government, and through the wisdom of His Excellency, the President of Kenya. That's why he formed a State Department for Special Program to ensure once we have natural disasters, once we have other disasters, the government is able to move swiftly. There's a framework in place which government can use to move swiftly, to restore, to have relief of the pain, which for instance at the moment people in Elgeyo Marakwet are facing. You know, the speed at which KDF swung into action when this happened, the speed at which National Youth Service, the police, it was proper speed, it was good speed. If that framework is not in place, all of us will be running helter-skelter. But I think so far, government have put all the necessary effort into, supporting the families who have been affected in Elgeyo Marakwet. But we still have a long way to go in terms of resettlement, in terms of restoration of the livelihood of the people who have been affected in that area.
Are you looking at monetary support for the families that are affected?
Yes, we have a team, we have a committee which we formed. This committee is led by the DG in charge of National Disaster Operations Center, Colonel retired David Samoe, with leadership from the county, leadership from the local community, and also the church. All of them are in this committee, and they have mobilized, or rather, the resources which we are mobilizing from the private, from the professionals from Elgeyo Marakwet, from other well-wishers who are willing to support the families. That committee is taking care of all the resources which have been raised from the well-wishers.
Okay.
And we continue asking all well-wishers across the country who want to support the family which have been affected to do so. And there's a framework of doing that through the National Disaster Operation Center, and as well as the county government of Elgeyo Marakwet is also part of it. So it's a multi-agency kind of operation because we want to ensure it is well coordinated.
Okay.
And the speed is moving with the speed which is needed.
Okay. The areas that you've mentioned that are prone to these disasters, and you mentioned floods in Trans Nzoia, Kiminini, you also mentioned areas of Moranga, there are areas in Western and Nyanza as well. So what is the plan to ensure that your action is preemptive rather than reactionary after the fact?
Yeah,
because you said it's a national, it's a disaster, so sometimes.
As a ministry, we are putting programs in place which will be rolling throughout the year in coordination with the institution of National Disaster Operations Center, but also working very closely with the Meteorological Department, working very closely with other institutions, for instance, National Drought Management Authority, that's been for drought. But you know, some of these things, Trevor, is out of climate change. If you look at the act which establishes National Drought NDMA, it is so deep in terms of climate change. And this climate change is a reality. I know there are many debates across the world as far as climate change is concerned. But from where I sit, we must have massive landscape restoration effort across the country. We must, and that's why we need to support the initiative by the president, the 15 billion in tree planting initiative, to ensure we are planting trees across the country in a bigger way. This will go a long way in reducing or bringing it down some of the natural disasters we are facing. And to be very honest, if you go to Marakwet, where this disaster was, there is a family which was saved because of trees. There is a family, father, mother, and the children, who climbed a tree, and it saved them. It saved them. There are several trees there, and mango trees, which were not swept by the landslide. So if we have high or the mountain areas, us doing landscape restoration, whether it's shrubs, whether it's trees, whether it is building of dikes in flood prone areas, whether it is ensuring that we are opening especially the drainage, in irrigation place areas where we have irrigation project, ensuring that water is able to flow in those areas in a smoother manner. All these efforts are needed, are urgent, and as a government we'll continue doing them and putting in place programs which will be running throughout the year, so that we can be able to prevent, to be well prepared in case of such disasters.
Do you have a general
The other thing
figure?
also, Trevor, which we need to put a lot of effort, is fire outbreak. In this city, Nairobi City, from the time I took over as the Minister in charge of special program, we have experienced so many fire outbreaks in Nairobi. Most of them because of illegal connection of power, especially in some areas, in Mkuru, in Kipra, in Madale, in Dagoretti, Kawangwale, Dagoretti South, Kangemi, all these places. And we end up also losing life out of fire, losing property, young children getting so affected that they can't go to school, and their daily life getting disrupted completely. We need proper programs, and as a ministry, we are coming up with all these preparedness program which we are going to put in place as far as drought is concerned, as far as fire is concerned, as far as natural disasters like landslide, flooding are concerned. It's a huge task, but we are moving with speed.
Let's
Within a couple of months that I've been in office, I have ensuring there's a team in place to ensure that there are some programs which are running. Remember, the State Department for Special Program was established, as a State Department 5 months ago.
5 months,
but we are moving with the speed to ensure we have proper structures.
Let's talk about the Lake Naivasha and Lake Baringo, the most recent being Lake Naivasha. In fact, residents of Kihoto village have now been displaced by the backflow of the river or the lake. What is the plan for them? Let's start with the residents of Kihoto in Naivasha.
We, as a government, we are in discussion with the county government of Nakuru. Remember, disaster management is a shared responsibility between the national government and the county government. We are in discussion with the county government of Nakuru on how we can resettle the people of Kyoto. There are some issues there. There are some issues.
What issues?
There are some issues which are there in terms of it's a riparian land. You are not supposed to build in a riparian land. That is where the lake should be. All these issues are there. But of importance is...
So the occupation of the land itself is illegal?
No, I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm just saying there are issues which we need to settle properly as a government, which are not clear at the moment. We need to have a consultative meeting with the county government of Nakuru and the national government properly to get to know is this riparian land or not. But that is not very key at the moment because families are affected, people are affected. We must first of all think on how to resettle these people, and that program is in place. I have been in several meetings now we are going to approach it. I will be moving there very, very soon.
When?
I have a challenge which I'm taking care of at the moment at Mbeere North in a couple of 2 weeks from now. As we settle that, before you finish, I should go to Kyoto. And not only Kyoto, in Nakuru, we have similar issues in Tana River. We have similar issues in Kwanza. We have Kiminini. And all these, we are taking them very seriously as a government.
Which challenge are you settling in Mbeere North that is of more priority than the people who are displaced in Kyoto?
No, I'm not saying Mbeere North is of more priority. No. I'm saying, for instance, you have to agree with me, Trevor, we have to take care of all these things. All these things are in our hands, and we have to run with all of them. And at the speed which the people of Kenya feels that indeed their government is taking care of their issues. Whether it is in Mbeere North or in Naivasha or in Kwanza or in Wajir, all issues which are affecting the people of Kenya, we have a responsibility to ensure we are taking care of them with the speed which is required.
Do you have a general budget of how much you need to deal with the current issues? Yes, it's true that disaster management came to you just about 5 months ago, but do you have a general idea of how much you'd need? Or how much has even been spent so far?
No. What we are spending at the moment in Elgeyo Marakwet, in Kwanza, in Kiminini, and other places is continuous. It's continuous. Government is spending resources in terms of supplies, non-food items, food items.
Do you have an estimated figure?
No, I don't have an estimated figure. Once we are done with this operation, we'll be able to see how much we have been able to spend. But what I can assure you, Trevor, and to the Kenyans, is that we are extremely prudent in terms of the spending. The president has issued a very strong directive that we have to be very, very prudent, and that's why we are asking support from the public in terms of those professionals, other organizations which can support us in some of these programs or operations are most welcome. whether it is in Montale or in other materials, they are welcome because also we don't have unlimited resources as government. Government resources are very, very, very limited. And whatever we have, we are ensuring we are spending it in the most prudent manner.
Okay, we have to take a quick break, but let me hear what your thoughts are in terms of Lake Nakuru, because that's also another issue. We talked about Lake Naivasha, then there's Lake Nakuru as well with the backflow that is now almost affecting even hotels, that is now getting into businesses now. So what kind of preparations have you made in response to that?
One, we are telling those who are near the riparian or those who are building the riparian land, whether it's Naivasha or Nakuru or Mbogoria or other lakes within the Rift Valley, there is backflow of all these lakes in Rift Valley. Studies have been conducted by Professor I'm forgetting his name, together with the county government of Baringo, to really understand, because there is more than meet an eye. Research must be done properly to understand why a very speedy backflow, which we have witnessed in a couple of now 5, 6, 7 years from the time this rig started having this backflow, and I'm going to proceed up to what extent.
What have you discovered so far in terms of what is causing all this?
The research is not yet done. I mean, it's not yet the results, the finding for the research are not yet published, are not yet out. We are waiting for this finding and recommendations, and but everything is boiling to climate change. Everything is boiling to climate change, the effect of climate change. And we must know how to adapt to the effect of climate change. At the same time, also, we have to train communities how to mitigate the effect of climate change. And we can't run away from the effect, from the impact of climate change. Unfortunately, climate change affects mostly the most vulnerable groups in a society. The very poor in your society are mostly affected by climate change. So that's why, as a government, we are saying we are putting in place programs which will help to the community to be resilient to the effect of climate change, to adopt, as well as the community to be able to mitigate to the effect of climate change.
Okay. Waziri, stay with me. Let's take a quick break here. When we're back, we'll still talk about the issues of disaster management and more right after this break. Keep your views coming. And special programs. Let's bring up some of your questions online. There's a lot of questions coming through. We'll bring them up and I'll allow Waziri to answer them really quickly because there are quite a number. Let's try and squeeze in as many of them as we can. Sitati George says, Trevor, could you ask Waziri why he keeps saying natural disaster? Hazards are natural, disasters are also very social, resulting from exposure, vulnerability, and planning failures. As climate change compounds the risk, what's the long-term strategy? What is the long-term strategy, Waziri?
We are approaching all these issues from different angles. Landslide is a natural disaster. Fire is not a natural disaster. Okay? So we must get prepared in a different way. And all these are going to affect people, are going to affect families. We have, for instance, the landslide which has affected the people of Verigao Marquette. Yes, there was Kenya Meteorological Department and issued a warning that in some of these areas we are likely to experience landslides. But we are facing a landslide of, unprecedented magnitude. Sometimes it can be just blocking the road. For instance, the road in that area is completely cut off. Yeah. And I say thank you to Kenya and Kera for a very quick action. And of course, National Youth Service for coming with excavators and tippers to ensure the movement of relief supplies is restored within that corridor. So we, as a government, we are prepared a different front in different ways, because they are different, all of them are disasters, whether natural or that are caused by other, probably negligence, or even some crooks, they might decide to ban a village, criminal element or negligence. But a landslide, Trevor, is a natural disaster. Earthquake is a natural disaster.
Okay. Let's bring in another one here and see what you're saying. Gabi Wakasiaka says, ask CS how much funding has truly reached disaster-prone regions like Chesongoch, not on paper, but on the ground. What assurances can you give Kenyans beyond words that Chesongoch will be the last preventable disaster under your watch?
We are assuring Kenyans that government is well prepared. We are putting program in place to ensure people of the Republic of Kenya will not be suffering because of these disasters. We'll be swinging into action as a government as quickly as possible. We have seen how we moved with speed as far as this disaster is concerned. Trevor, you have seen the way we have responded also to other disasters with swiftness which is required. Some areas which are a bit complex, like those who are in riparian land, we need a lot of consultation with the county government of that area, as well as the national government and other stakeholders, to come up with a proper strategy. Because you can go into a conflict and you end up making it even worse. So where there is fire, where there is flooding, where there is landslide, government of Kenya is moving with speed. You mentioned that you still don't know how much funding was truly reach the disaster-prone regions. Funding is still trickling in every single day from different well wishers, and as I mentioned earlier, the government of Kenya operate. I mean, in such disaster, when it occurs, there is Article 223 of our Constitution allows the government to use funds to ensure government reliefs the people from the pain which they're experiencing, the inconveniences which they are experiencing out of a disaster, out of calamity. Okay, let's bring up another one here and see what you're saying. Sankale Brown says our country is always struck with disasters, always unexpectedly. As a disaster expert, I say there is a lot that needs to be done. I ask Waziri, what measures has the government put to discuss how to prevent disasters? You mentioned this earlier on. Yes, again, I would say, true, there is a huge distance to cover or space to cover as far as preparedness of disasters is concerned from the government point of view. And I mentioned that is what we are trying to ensure. We have program in place. We have the necessary equipment. We have the necessary personnel. We have the necessary cooperation with non-state actors, because disasters, you can't be able to overcome it you yourself alone as a government. You need a multi-agency kind of approach to bring all the agencies, all those who operate in such a situation, Red Cross, St. John's Ambulance, even other governments. For instance, what happened in 1998 when we had a bomb blast? We saw American government, we saw Israeli government coming to help the Kenyan government with equipment, with other logistics, to ensure we recover from such a disaster in the quickest way possible.
Here's a suggestion from Honorable J.K. Tanui, Soy South, Elgeyo Marakwet. Says we experience landslides every year for the last over 20 years. Huge cracks already displayed along the settlements at Turesia, Simit, Sambirir, Kiptengwer, and kindly resettle our people as soon as tomorrow. Convert the cracked areas into national forests. Asante.
True. Okay. That's the direction which government is taking.
Okay. Let's see what else you're saying here. You don't give a name, but you say, could it's actually the CS, be precise on helping people in disaster-prone areas, because we are sure when the rains go, they will be forgotten until the next cycle. We are not short of technocrats who can quickly give permanent solutions. Why not engage them and have this managed as a project with the start and closure with clear timelines?
I can assure Kenyans this. This is not an operation where once the cameras are out of the scene, everything is forgotten. No. The ministry is going to ensure they are running programs throughout the year as far as disaster, operation, preparedness, rescue missions, and making communities and households resilient as far as disaster management is concerned. This is a day-to-day ongoing programs. And that's why, Trevor, I'm saying, a month ago, before even this disaster happened, we and a meeting at the Kenya School of Government with all the stakeholders, a all-day meeting to discuss some of these issues and how the government of Kenya is going to approach all these issues. And this is going to be a continuous thing. Bringing all these actors, non-state actors, as well as government institutions into place with data, with scientific data, and programming how we are going to move forward in the coming months.
Okelo Mwalimu says, can CS Ruku inform the country whether they've mapped out other flood-prone regions? If so, which mitigation measures have they put in place to ensure safety of might-be affected residents? Secondly, what is the government doing to mitigate drought-related risks? I think you had mentioned this, but we'll give you a chance to respond.
I mentioned this. I've said there are a number of lakes which we are experiencing backflow. At the moment, we have Lake Victoria, which we are experiencing backflow, and that's why Livayara, Nzoia, and that belt, at the moment, we are experiencing flooding. So we, in Kiminini constituency, we are in discussion with the Member of Parliament there almost on a daily basis. We sent some items to help the people as a government in Trans Nzoia, in Kwanza, which is in Trans Nzoia County. We also did the same. So in Tana River County, we are doing the same. So we are in operation mode. We are moving swiftly where we know there is flooding happening. And this is a continuous process. And we are not going to let any Kenyan down as far as this is concerned.
Crispinas Adams says, considering that the KDF is very well resourced in terms of systems, equipment, and personnel, why is it so difficult for Department of Disaster Management to be permanently transferred to the KDF? Okay, let's get another one. That's a story that we'll get you to give your view on that. We saw videos of the military aircraft seemingly struggling to take off. How reliable are the equipments which are deployed to these areas? I don't believe this is your docket, but you can comment about it if you so wish.
First of all, we thank the National Police Service and the KDF for the very good job which they are doing, not only in Marakwet, but also in many other parts of the country. These are very patriotic Kenyans who are risking their lives in many places to ensure Kenyans are having the comfort which they need, are having their situation saved, and getting the relief which is needed. Yes, we have challenges everywhere. But so far so good.
Okay.
Regardless of the equipment which we are having as a government. But the equipment which KDF has and which has deployed in Marakwet, the equipment which National Police Service has deployed in Marakwet have been of great use to the people of Marakwet in this operation.
All right.
Without National Police and KDF, the suffering would have been much more, and probably we have lost more people than what we have experienced so far.
There are two more issues that I'd like to hear comments on, but let's hear what Kei Gashimi says here. Ask CS Ruku why he's still silent on the fire issue that affected 20 families in Embu town in Manyata constituency. He hasn't said anything, yet he's flying past that area to the campaign in Bere North constituency.
Yes, I'm going there this week to ensure the people of Manyata who have been affected by fire are taken care of by government. Already we have organized all the items which are required, and they will be receiving those items within the course of the week, and all the necessary support from the government.
Speaking of Bere North, you're the former immediate member of parliament of Bere North, and it's actually your appointment as a CS that necessitated the by-election. What is your level of interest in the Bere North by-election? I'm
very interested.
Okay.
I'm very interested in the by-election. Because the people of Bere North and the people of the entire of that area, we know what we need.
Have you been engaged in the campaigns?
Yes.
You're not supposed to as cabinet secretary. It's illegal, actually.
It's not illegal.
As a cabinet secretary, you're not supposed to engage in local politics.
It's not illegal.
Why are you doing this?
It's not illegal to engage in politics travel as a cabinet secretary.
There's actually a court case even as we speak.
Yeah, there's a court case, but the law allows cabinet secretaries and CEC to involve themselves in politics. If you read section 25 of Conflict of Interest Act 2025 on political neutrality, you'll see the cabinet secretary and CECs in the county government are around by law to get involved in campaigns, in politics.
What is your reading of the situation on the ground? The race is largely seen as a two-horse race. Is that how you see it?
The people of Bere North have already made the decision. We wish that the voting can be this week so that we can finish, because already we have made the decision that the candidate who we are going to vote as the next member of parliament is Rio Wamolende, who is a UDA candidate. Because we don't want rhetoric, we don't want empty words, we don't want people who are coming to abuse others in the constituency or within the region. We don't want those who are coming in the narrative of that Kenya is a country of shares and balkanizing this country into tribes and region and name calling of leaders. So we have made decision as the people, as a community, that the person who is going to be the next member of parliament from Bere North, and I want to thank the people of Bere North, because they have been very, very much united, very, very united. Yeah. And I urge them, their unity is critical for these 2.5 weeks which are remaining. Let's ensure we are in government. That is where we can get the much needed project, transformative project for our community. We need electricity, we need water, we need our roads are tarmac. Even if you are rich, a billionaire, no individual can be able to implement those projects. Those projects can only be implemented by the government of the day. Many governments have been there, but they have never been, they have never transformed the community of Bere. They have never transformed actually the entire belt of Mount Kenya East. So it is the time where we have a president who is listening to the people of that area. We had Moi Kibaki, we had Uhuru Kenyatta, we had Moi, we had Njomo. Okay? But time lapsed without us getting the much needed transformative project which can transform the life and livelihood of the people of that area.
Waziri, this is an active case, so I don't want to get into the merits or the demerits of it, but what do you say about Chapter 6 of the Constitution that clearly emphasizes integrity and professionalism in the public service, requiring appointed officers to maintain political neutrality? The Public Officer Ethics Act reinforces this by requiring public officers not to engage in political activity.
I'll answer you by asking you, Trevor, to open Conflict of Interest Act.
No, my question is on Chapter 6 of the Constitution, which is a requirement for political neutrality.
When a law is passed in Parliament, Trevor, the law goes through a lot of legislative process to ensure it is not in conflict with any article of the Constitution. For the Conflict of Interest Act to have passed all the legislative processes or stages in Parliament, it must have been checked again and again. It is not in conflict with any article of the Constitution. Because if an act of Parliament is in conflict with any article of our Constitution, that act of Parliament is null and void. Conflict of Interest Act 2025, it is not null and void. It is in place, you know. So I can only direct you to read Section 25 of Conflict of Interest Act 2025, which talks about political neutrality, and it clearly states cabinet secretaries and CECs are around to engage themselves in politics. They can be agents of a political candidate. We can be, we can champion ideologies of a certain political party. We can oppose ideologies or policies of a certain political party. We can support publicly a candidate of your choice as a cabinet secretary. Read Section 25.
Ignoring
Section 25.
Chapter 6, Section 7.
It is not ignoring. It is not ignoring because this is an act of Parliament which have gone through public participation.
We're running out.
And by the way, it went through serious public participation, the conflict of interest, both at the National Assembly and the Senate.
We will see the interpretation of the court and that. But as we wind up on this conversation, there was a time, yours is a big ministry, of course. There's also public service in it. There was a time you were lamenting ghost workers. What have you found out? Do you have ghost workers in the public service, and how much are they costing the government?
We asked for audit of what we call human resource information system. The audit has diffused quite a number of issues. One of them is there are public servants who are paying twice.
Public servants paid twice?
Twice or thrice. They are
up to 3 times. What is the highest number you've seen?
No. Let's talk about twice. The public servants who are not exempted from paying of taxes, but they are not paying taxes. You know, there is tax exemption for PWDs.
But let's go step by step. So paid twice under different names or the same name?
Same name.
Same account?
Yes, same account.
Twice the amount they're supposed to earn, or paid twice? What do you mean paid twice?
You get your salary twice in a month. It may be a system failure. It may be deliberate. That's why the investigations are going on at the moment. That's why I asked the ESCC to come in place and do a thorough investigation of what has been happening. Because we have those who have been changing the dates of birth. Dates of birth. Maybe with so that you can retire when you are way above 60 years. There are those who are getting rent arrears. You know, we don't know what's that rent arrears. There are those who are moving from one job group to the other in a year 3 times. without recommendation from Public Service Commission. So there are all these, some of the issues which have been identified and singled out within the public service. And there may be errors, Trevor, but we don't want to assume anything. We want to assume that there is a crime which has been committed, so that we can ensure Kenyans' taxpayers' money is prudently utilized. So I wrote to EACC, asking them to come in place, do their proper investigation. As far as their finding is concerned, that is what we implement. For those who will be found to have committed crime of changing job groups, or people who are not recommended by EACC, adding more salaries to people who are supposed to get one salary, then serious action will be taken. They will be prosecuted, they will be fired.
How much has the government lost?
No,
estimation?
We still don't have the figure up to now. The figures which we have is estimation, and
what is the estimation?
We will not want to tell Kenyans without proper figures. So we are asking to give us a little bit of maybe another 4 weeks or so for the EACC to finish their job, and we will be moving to the next action. But at the same time, we have worked on a system, a platform, which is going to get rid of all this. We are calling it e-public service management system, which is going to integrate the already existing system plus a more robust system which will take care of attendance, will take care of feedback from the public, that if you go to a random ministry and you are not treated well, you will be able to report back from your phone. I was at this place in Kajiado trying to do a transaction. I was asked to pay 5,000 by so and so. You report immediately from a platform which will be accessible for public and also to the public servant. Because what Kenyans are asking us, and the president is very keen on this, we must be able to offer Kenyans the services in an efficient way, transparent way, without corruption, and in a very customer-friendly way. We have a few elements who probably are rude, who don't go to work at the right time, who have entitlement in these public offices. These are public offices. There should be no entitlement at all. It's public office for all of us. And Article 232 of our Constitution, which talks about principles and values of public service, tell us, all of us who are public servants, how we should conduct ourselves when we are in these public offices. And that calls for everybody, from the sub-county division all the way to the top. And President of the Republic of Kenya is public servant #1. And he has given firm instruction that we have to fix this system. We have to ensure Kenyans' resources are spent prudently. Those who are paid are those who are working. Those who are not working are not paid.
Waziri, thank you for making time. That's all the time we had. Honorable Geoffrey Ruku, the CS of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs. Thank you very much for speaking to us here on the Monday Report. That's where we leave it for now. On behalf of everyone who made this possible, I say good night and God bless.
Pamoja na mkewe.
Komedi za kuvunja mbavu. Ela bora zaidi kwa lugha yako.
Tukendo kimara mara wi mara.
Na sasa